All right, we should have audio, we should have video. Welcome everybody. If it says paid promotion somewhere on screen, it's because I was sent something for free. I'll show you a couple of the guitars a little bit later on. So welcome everybody. We're going to take some questions and then sort of give you my first impressions of some guitars I've had in a box now for about a week. So I'm keen to check them out. Welcome everybody. We've got Ridiculous Wonks here. Gary, welcome. Mr. D, he says, all right then, I'm catching one from the beginning. It's 10:55 in Canada, very cool. iGoob, welcome. We've got AJS Porsche from Melbourne, awesome stuff. Melbourne in Australia, very cool. And Tampa Blues, welcome. All right. So hopefully everything's working all right. If there's any issues with the audio or whatever, just let us know. I'll timestamp this after the fact as well. We'll keep it under an hour, or an hour-ish, give or take. And then I can, if you want to see the unboxing, you can skip ahead. Now, I've already cut the tape, which makes it a little bit easy because, yeah, one of the things I don't want to do is like fiddle with everything on a live stream. So that's about it. All right, I got Frankie Chan here as well. Chain Strangers, welcome, mate. All right, very cool. Buzz is here already. Welcome, man. Jose, welcome, mate. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for all the support as well. Jimmy says, still in lockdown in Sydney, so need this video. Thanks, mate. Yeah, so are we. Although, yeah, it's a strange lockdown at the moment. There's people everywhere. It's crazy, man. We've got Scott from Colorado. Awesome stuff. Pork Chop, welcome. All right, so we're going to take a couple questions as well. If anyone has any questions about some of the stuff you've seen or about any of the other gear, let us know. I've got a few other amps coming up that and guitars as well it's just been on loan. So you'll see a couple of things that I've had lots of requests for coming up. Finally got my hands on some of that. Fender were nice enough to send out one of their new amps for a loaner as well, which was cool. So I've got that in the box over there. We may actually take a look at that as well because I haven't seen it yet. Or maybe I'll save that up. We'll see how we go. Hey, Jamal's here. Welcome, mate. Awesome stuff. Hope you're doing well. I was just talking about an amp that Fender have sent out. So, yeah, we'll get to check that out. Finally, you've been requesting that for months. Lost for Words, welcome. Channel member. Thanks for joining up. I appreciate it. Very cool. All right. Am I still playing the Little Crow guitars? That's a good question. So the Corvino SD, I am. The Raven, no. And the reason why is I had it sent back for some mods and the courier company lost it. I was just like, you know, it sucks. There's nothing you can do, right? You go back and forth with the courier company until they basically give up. So, yeah, unfortunately, Little Crow, it was coming from my place to their shop and it had been on that trip 2 or 3 times over the last sort of 4 years or whatever. And then it just got lost. So, yeah, it's one of those unfortunate things. That guitar sounded great, but I actually preferred the Corvino much, much more. So I'm kind of glad it was that one, if you look at it like that. Yeah, great guitar. You know, recently I had a damp problem in my cupboard and it kind of affected a lot of my guitars, which is why you haven't seen a lot of them over the last few months. But I had Alex at Sky Music at my local shop here where I borrow a lot of the stuff from. He went through them and fixed a lot of the electronics for me just to take the complication out of it. So he did a great job. So you'll start to see more of the guitars kind of cycle back through and all that kind of thing. What are your thoughts on the Les Paul Special neck pickup? Great. Yeah, I reckon the Les Paul Special guitars are awesome. I don't think there's really any like tonal sacrifice for going for one of those. It's more of a visual thing. You know, you're buying a guitar that looks different. I actually really don't mind the vibe. So, oh, it's special. Sorry. So, are you talking about on the P90? Sorry, or is that what you mean? Because sorry, I always get the special and the tribute confused. So on the specials, sorry about that. The neck pickup's a little on the dark sounding side, but it's still usable. Just nowhere near as lively as the bridge pickup is, at least on my TV yellow one. Hopefully that's the guitar you're talking about. All right, we've got Kerry from Canada. Welcome, Fat Philosopher. Awesome stuff. Tampa Blues says, thanks for the super chat, by the way. I just want a simple American Strat like the old days. What do you think of all the changes to the Fender American versions, especially the pickups? I think the pickups have generally gotten better. Not every year, but over the last few years, again, Fender are really making great guitars. The American Pro 2 is probably the best made in the US standard model they've made in a long time. I would say there's some that were made in the sort of like early 2000s that I really liked as well. But yeah, the American Pro 2s are pretty hard to beat, man. Like, even if you're not into, you know, some of the, I know the Tally and that has the push-pull pots and all that kind of stuff, but even if you're not into that, they still sound great. So yeah, I would have no hesitations recommending those. And you can also get other simple guitars like the one I've got. That's like a current production model made in the US without any of the fancy stuff. It's built like an old guitar, the American Original series. I could highly recommend those too. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bought it. Like, since I played one of those, I was like, oh, I'm in trouble. This is really good. Yeah, thanks again for the super chat, mate. I think Fender are making, not all of their guitars have been great. You know, it feels like sometimes when the new stuff comes out, the assumption is everything before it is junk, and that's not the case. A lot of the time, there's still plenty of great guitars out there from prior years, and I think, you know, they get some of their stuff right, and some of them are just like, geez, that was exciting. New paint jobs, you know, but the new ones are actually pretty good. Buzz Wilson says, love the Champ review, but damn that price tag. Yeah, brutal. I think they're like close to $2,000 in Australia. So yeah, I couldn't justify that, man. It was small, expensive, and for 5 watts, it's sort of, yeah, it's an acquired kind of thing. You know, some people love those, and they've been used on albums like the Layla album and probably a lot of other classic recordings as well. But yeah, not really for me. If I was going to spend that sort of money on an amp, I'd buy something much bigger. And also, I think if I just want a practice amp, I'd buy something that probably isn't, or that has the capability to be switched down from 5 watts, because 5 watts is still too loud. And thanks for the kind words, mate. I appreciate it. All right, we've got Christian. Welcome, Christian Rose, sorry. Princeton reverb too loud for home. You can play it at home, but they sound better up. Like, that's the problem with a lot of these Fender amps. You got to get them to 5 before they really start to sing. And if you don't, you can still use them at low volumes with pedals or clean or whatever, but you lose the oomph. And that's the problem with that Champ. To get it to sound good, you really have to turn it up. And there's a fine line between it being like lower than your speaking voice and being too loud. And then it already starts to break up on about 7. So Princeton's are very loud amps. You could gig with them in most situations. Not all, but most. The P90s, yeah, okay. So yeah, the neck pickup on the Les Paul Special, the TV yellow one, it's a little on the dark sounding side, but it's still got a lot of vibe. It's not the chirpiest of P90s. Mr. D says, wondering if you've tried any SV sound pedals lately. Not lately, no. I've reviewed a lot of his stuff over the years. Yeah, the favorite pedal from SV Sound was definitely the Overzoid. That pedal was so good. I think I ended up flipping it to one of my friends, Brian, but yeah, it was pretty cool. All right, hey, Bill, thank you, man. He asks, are there any semi-hollow body guitars that you're interested in? Hope everyone is doing well. Thanks, Bill. You know what? There's a couple of Reverend guitars that look really cool. The only sort of semi-hollow body guitar that I'd really want to buy is from G&L, and I should have bought it last time I was at Jerry's. It's the Blues Boy, the ASAT, or however you say, Blues Boy. It's a Tally style guitar, neck humbucker, single coil bridge pickup, sort of very similar to the Little Crow guitar, but with a neck humbucker pickup. That thing is beautiful. It was in a color, I think, called Black Ice. I just realized my camera's not plugged in. Hang on one sec. Like, it is plugged in, but it's not on power, I meant. All right, let's see if that works. Yeah, all right, we're good. Now it thinks it's... All right, there we go. Is this working? Sorry, one sec. All right, that should work. Yeah, so the Blues Boy ASAC Classic is killer. Visually, it looks good. Sound, tone-wise, all that, it's kind of great. It was actually one of the first guitars I played last time I was at Jerry's Lefty Guitars. And the problem is, anytime you're at a place like that, you want to buy everything that you play. So it was one of the first guitars I said, no, I'll try all the others. And I probably, in hindsight, should have got it. There's something also a little bit painful about traveling overseas with a guitar in a big case. I've done it a few times. It's a pain. But yeah. So thank you, mate. Thanks for all the support. Far out. I'll just go back up here and go down the comments. So yes, Princeton is too loud. I feel like these days Strats are better quality than they used to be. On the most part, I'd say that's right. Absolutely. I mean, look at Squire, how much, I mean, originally I think they might have been made in Japan or something for a long time, and then they moved off to probably China, and now they're made in Indonesia. But, you know, look at the classic vibes. They're pretty high quality guitars, you know. Regular Blues Junior or Blues Junior Tweed, what do I prefer? Yeah, it's an interesting question. The Tweed one sounds better in the mix, but it doesn't sound better to your ear when you play them side by side. The Jensens have a really sort of pokey, high-end sound to them, which can sometimes sound a little fizzy. But in the mix, they sound great. They've got more sort of 3D sort of sound. But I would almost encourage you, instead of buying the Tweed one, just get the standard one and replace it with any number of great speakers that work best for your particular sound. That's kind of what I would do. I'd probably put a Swamp Thing in there or a Texas Heat just to give it a big, massive sound, you know. Ridiculous Monk says, in the blues, still loving the Captor X. I'm on the fence with it, and at tube amps in general, I don't gig and mostly play at home and church where there's no ability to crank a tube amp. It's awesome. I use it on every video I can. Not on like amp review videos, but anytime I'm doing pedal demos or whatever the case may be, I use it every single time. It saves my ears. It sounds amazing. It's on my desk right here. And everything else is gone. I got rid of the Kemper. I got rid of all the rack unit crap you used to see on my desk. That's it. That and a little sound card, which is right here. Yeah, can I do this? Can you see this? No. All right. I was going to point at it, but it's back here. Captor X is great. I did a full written review, sort of a bit more deep dive into the usability. You can read it at guitarpedaldemos.com if you want to check it out. Hey mate, when the hell can we go see a band again? Melbourne is grey and too quiet at the moment. Mate, I totally agree. It's a sad state of affairs here, no doubt about it. Nick says, I'm moving to a new house soon with a full basement. That's awesome, man. I'd love to get a basement. I'm going to turn it into my recording studio. I have a Tascam 24 track, but I'm thinking I missed the boat when it comes to recording. I tell you what, recording is something you don't just wake up and learn. It takes time. And I would say it's one of the best things you can learn. You know, I look at my first albums I produced, and then 15 or 20 years later, I have a listen to some of the more recent recordings, and it's not even close, right? Like, even ones that I did in the late 2000s were vastly different. Late 2000, sort of going towards 2010 to now, it's not even close again. So your ear will always develop, and there's so many great tutorials on how to do stuff. You just got to spend some time. And believe it or not, even Waves, right, the company that makes all the plugins, they do some great tutorials on how, just some of the fundamentals and what you should be listening for and things like that. So get into it. It's something you don't just wake up and learn. It's like playing guitar. It's an acquired skill. The more time you spend with it and getting frustrated and trying different things, the better you'll get at it. But also, like guitar, you can't be too scared to try stuff just to see what happens, right? Because you can always go backwards in terms of undo steps in the process. Hey, we've got Amanda here. Amanda's here. Welcome. Can't talk today. That's always good. All right. Gary says, I purchased a couple of the contemporary Squires lately. They have been great. The roasted necks are nice. Yeah, there's something about the roasted necks that feel awesome. I think well, I may have a second guitar now with a roasted maple neck, but I've only got one, and that's the Kiesel. And man, that neck is so good. And now that it's, I think the moisture affected its setup slightly. Like I said earlier, if you missed it, I had an issue in the cupboard, which is why you haven't seen a lot of the guitars over the last few months. But they're all fixed. The thing plays and sounds so good. Yeah, so the roasted necks are nice. I agree. Hey, Buzz, thank you, man. G&L Fund, love mine. The standard C is my favorite neck shape. I think on the next trip away, whenever that is, I'm going to definitely keep my eye out for a lefty blues boy. I might even try and find one on just on the used market somewhere rather than having to go to shops to find it, because I think that'd be probably the easiest way. I don't know if it's a current production model anymore, but yeah, that black iced one or whatever it was called, man, it looks so good. Yeah, if you search G&L in the blues, it should come up. It's this beautiful black G&L blues boy. It's awesome. And thank you, Buzz. Thank you, mate. Thanks for all the support. All right, Cowhide Music says, finally got the Captor X this week. Loving it. Awesome. They're unreal. I love the fact you can get a little bit of spill back out of your amp, you know, when you're playing, or you can turn it completely off. That's what sets it apart from the old 2 Notes Torpedo, which was still really good, but no, you know, it just has more functionality. Have I seen you playing in older videos as a band? Yeah. So, I mean, I played live, and I still play live when we can here at the moment, but I've been playing live for years, and it's just my own band. It's just my name, basically. And other times I'm also sitting with other bands too. So sometimes you'll see clips of jams, like blues jams here locally and all that kind of stuff as well. What's the scoop on the Epiphone Slash models? Have you had a chance to test drive any of those? No. You know, I haven't seen any here yet. So knowing what Australia's like, we might be a few months behind, but if I get a chance to check them out, or I'm assuming they probably don't make lefties, so I might ask Rick to see if he can help out with that. That would be super cool. Hey, Robert Baker, when am I getting an 8-string, mate? No, I'm going to go for a 10. I made a decision yesterday that 8 isn't enough. Not only do I struggle enough on 6, I thought I'd try and double my insecurities almost and get a 10-string. Mate, that Esquire on the ZZ Top video you did, or was it the Tele? I can't remember, but man, the tone was so good. So yeah, great video. Hey, we got AJS Porsche. Thank you, mate. He says he didn't say anything actually. He just became a channel member. Thank you, mate. Appreciate that. Cheers. I do post little behind the scenes pictures on the feed for members just to show you a little bit about what's coming up. So yeah, thank you for the support, mate. Rick Lee says, hi there, Shane. Good to hear from you. Thanks, Rick. Thanks for joining in. Nick says, thanks for answering my questions. I truly enjoy the content. Curious to know about your recording system for your albums. So when you record albums, it's really not a complicated, the less complicated it is, the better. The way I like to do it, and everybody's got a different way of doing it, but the quick version of it is I'll take an 8-track, like portable recorder I got a Zoom R16. I used to have 2 of them. You could daisy chain them. And then I would get into the room with the drums and basically play all the songs with the drummer. And obviously if the bass player is available too, that's always helpful. We've done it a few different ways, but just having a live sense of what's going on is a big deal when you're recording. As long as you know what you want to do and the formula's there, it's actually a pretty easy process. And you get a good drummer, you're basically talking to him over a microphone nice and quietly. All right, we're going up to the chorus, bring it up loud, bring it back. You know, you're literally saying that, and it keeps the live vibe there whilst also still playing to a click. So, yeah, then I dump everything into what I was using for years as Nuendo. And that's pretty much the process. Now, I'm retiring my PC altogether pretty soon, so I'm going to make the switch over to Logic Pro 10X, or I think they might have dropped the X now, but at some point I'll be doing that. But I haven't needed to record anything more than the Guitar Shop videos, and I haven't done any more since I've retired that computer, so it'll be interesting to see what I do in the meantime. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Everyone's got their own way of recording. You can just play to a click track and then get a good drummer, and hopefully that'll all work. But yeah, I like to be there at least for the recording of the drums, because it's the definitive thing that will make or break the recording. That's just my process. And thanks for the question. And thanks again, Porsche. I appreciate it, mate. All right, hey, Hutch from BA's here. Welcome, mate. Hope you're doing well. Awesome stuff. Hutch has been around for since the dawn of YouTube, I think, from my channel. Welcome, mate. Giambi, is it? Giambi? He says, you rock, Shane. Thanks for posting great content. Hey, thanks. I'm trying. I always try. If I always say this to people when they ask, oh, how do you keep making so many videos and all this kind of stuff? Man, I delete like 1 in every 5 videos. I'm just not happy with it. And then I redo it down the track. There's always, I try. Some days you play better than other days, and some days you look like crap, or you're tired, and you edit. I edited this whole video the other day. Like, I got through, it took me like 2 hours to film. It was a deep dive video. And like the audio wasn't right because one of the cables was shoddy. I didn't notice until the end, and I was like, delete. So yeah, thanks. I just try to keep the video, whatever I release, I try to keep it up to my standard, whatever that may be, for good or bad. And thank you for the kind words. Michael says, hey, welcome, man. Says, keep up the great work. Do you think there's any difference between a solid body guitar and a semi-hollow body guitar? Call me crazy, I hear no difference. Yeah, it's interesting. I'd love to hear like a thin line Telecaster, for example, with the same exact pickups and setup as a solid body version, and not with their humbuckers, because their humbuckers sound pretty muddy. Those wide range humbuckers, I'm not a big fan. So yeah, I would usually say there is a difference in the overtone and in the sustain. Like sometimes when you turn a arch top or whatever up a little bit, you can feel the wind coming out of the F holes, which is something that you'd never feel on any of the other guitars, because there's nowhere for the wind to come out of. And I think that does something for the sustain. But I don't know. Interesting question. I think maybe slightly. I think it inherently, to some extent, and like I said, I haven't done an A/B test, there might be some differences between, sustain and slight differences in the top end as well. But yeah, I don't know if could just be my mind. Hey, Buzz, thank you, mate. Thank you. Thanks for signing up, man. That's super cool. Have I played/reviewed the Epiphone Crestwood Custom? Epiphone Crestwood Custom. You know what? I don't know if I've ever heard of that one. Epiphone Crestwood Custom. Let me have a look. I have seen these. I didn't know that's what they were called, and no, unfortunately, I haven't played one of those yet. They look cool. I like Epiphone guitars. There's something sort of cool about their Uptown Cat one. Was one that we played on a Keys to the Guitar Shop series, and it was really cool. All right, sorry if I missed your question. Sometimes the chat just flies down here. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, man. I apologize, but he says, Shane, you're the best dude on here for content for musicians. Thank you. Hey, thank you, man. And if you were in the States visiting, it's Labor Day weekend. So happy Labor Day weekend. Oh, well, there you go. Happy Labor Day weekend, everybody. Thanks, mate. I don't know. There's some pretty stiff competition. Nah, it's not competition. There's a lot of great YouTube channels. It's just fun to be still being able to do what I do. Especially after all these years, I'm pretty thankful and fortunate the channel's still going. It's just, I think it's easy sometimes for older channels to either continually grow or just to fall off the face of the earth. It's, and I'm fortunate that everyone still supports the channel. So thank you. And yeah, thanks for the channel memberships here. Buzz, thank you, mate. been living in a vacuum, I guess. I had no idea that you set up the memberships. I only set it up a couple of weeks ago, so maybe a month ago now. It's not something I promote. I don't promote any of that stuff. I just, if people see it, they sign up. So thank you. Hey, all right, we've got Trey Evans. He says, much love from Austin, Texas. Would you recommend the 2020 Epiphone Les Paul Special? Really want a Gibson, but can't justify the purchase with 3 young kids. Absolutely, yeah. I did a video, 5 best Epiphone guitars, and that's in the list because it's unreal. That comes from experience. I don't put things into a list that I either haven't heard in person or, played or touched or picked up. And Dr. Rick was lucky enough to play the righty in one of our Keys to the Guitar Shop series, and it was great. And putting them side by side with the Gibson, there's not a lot in it visually either. So I think they're really nice guitars. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. I think I just called it 5 best Epiphones or something like that. So yeah, great choice. I think they're awesome. All right, we've got Jack Daniels here. Welcome, mate. He says, it's been months since I've been able to catch a live stream. Hope you're doing okay. Well in the endless lockdown. Thanks, mate. I can't wait to get out of here. I'll tell you what. I'll be gone for a while once we can. But thanks, mate. I hope you're doing well. Guitar Man 45 says he likes the Uptown Cat. It has a really great sound and vibe to it. No questions about it. Do I get recognized by guitar nerds in the shops? Yes. And not all the time. Sometimes you just get weird looks, and other times I've been in places I didn't expect people to ever notice me. Sometimes it's the people working in the shops. Like we're in Germany, and even Dr. Rick got recognized in a store. It's kind of funny, but it's happened all over the US. Not all of the time either, but we're in the middle of nowhere in Boston with Steve from Boston and Nick in the States YouTube channels, and we got recognized in a shop out there. I was like, oh man, it's like the last thing you would expect, but I don't know. It's kind of funny. Like I go to shops like anyone else, and I forget that the handful of people see the videos. It's super cool. Jamal says, I can't wait for Epiphone to release the Lefty Les Paul Special on the list when it comes to Southpaw guitars. Mate, ask Jimmy to put one aside for me. I'll come pick it up. Oh, I'd love to, actually, mate. That'd be so really, really cool. You know what's cool? Hitting that like button. Thanks, Amanda. Appreciate that. Cheers. Tom says, thanks for the great content. Thank you. So I got a good mix of stuff coming up. If you've just joined in on the live stream here, I've got some affordable guitars, which I'm going to show you right now. And I've got some not higher end, but mid-range Gibsons and other brands as well. I've got some, what I would consider informative videos coming up, and like how-to guides and all that kind of things as well. I'm trying to always mix it up. And then I've got one more Keys to the Guitar Shop, which hasn't seen the light of day yet, and I need to finish that off. It's been sitting there for ages. So, yeah, it's all coming up. Matty K, you're a madman. If that was meant to be $5, let us know. I'll send it back. Hey, Shane, big fan here. Just thought I'd say cheers for all your hard work. Hey, thank you, mate. Far out. I don't know what to say. Tipping isn't really a thing in Australia unless you're getting Uber Eats, which I don't use anymore. But yeah, far out, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't know what else to say, but thanks, guys. Thanks everyone for being a part of the channel here. Wow. If you have any questions, mate, or whatever, just add in the blues me and I'll keep an eye out for it. Far out. Thank you. I'm going to celebrate by having a sip of the old caffeine. I've covered it up today because I'm embarrassed it's not a Blue V. I'm from Texas. Do you have an album out in the States? I had a couple of albums online. You could get them from iTunes and all that, but I actually canceled the subscription to it a while back because they were kind of, the company that were distributing the albums were taxing us twice, and I complained about it because the way it works is if you live in Australia and income's from overseas, you don't get taxed twice. It's not a thing. So there's these tax treaties, and they were sort of taking it out anyway. I don't even know where it was going. So yeah, I kind of cancelled that. I've only got a couple of my albums up at it's at intheblues.com.au, so you can check that out if you want to have a look. That's where I usually list a lot of the X-Demo stuff as well, which is how I cover my costs and all that kind of stuff. The quality of my webcam is off the charts. Thanks, mate. If this was a webcam, I'd be happy. This is an fairly high-end camera. It's probably not, doesn't look as good as it would on the actual videos, but because of I'm uploading at a lower bit rate than what you would normally see. But yeah, thanks, man. This is where a lot of the anytime I'm super chatting and all that kind of stuff goes, I usually try and put it back into the channel, and that's what this was the end result of about 3 weeks ago. No, there's Christian Rose says, I'd tip, but I'm a solo dad with a guitar addiction. Hey, that's fine, mate. Look, I never ask people to do it. It's not a thing here, so thank you. And I think one of the things I've seen a lot of other channels, they won't answer questions if they're not super chats. So I always try to get through all the questions I see, and not all of them end up coming up in the sidebar here. But yeah, I don't want to turn it into that kind of channel. It's no fun for anyone. All right, I'll take one more question. Have I played the Naventa Strat? I've seen these before. I just want to double check. I'm looking at I'm thinking about the same one. Yeah, I've seen these with Dr. Rick I think we played them in one of the episodes of the Keys to the Guitar Shop videos, possibly. I just don't remember which one. It was one of the early ones, maybe the second one that we did. I've not played a lefty, obviously, but I'm pretty sure he played one of these. It sounded like a rockin' beast, to be honest, so yeah. All right, who wants to see some guitars? I know this won't probably be for everybody, but it's good mixing it up. So what software am I using to stream? This is Open Broadcaster software. It's free and easy. All you need is some sort of HDMI, or actually you got a Sony, so you might be able to do it another way too, but I'm going into a switcher and then out to the computer, and then the computer sees it like a webcam. Hey, Tom Buck, welcome, mate. Awesome stuff. Guys, if you don't know Tom and you're a audio video nerd like I am outside of guitars, go check him out. His channel's great. And with Robert too, of course. Robert's the man. I wish I had as much dexterity in one. What am I trying to say? He's got like more dexterity in one finger than I do in my entire hand. It's a sad state of affairs for my guitar ambitions, but yeah, check out their channel, guys, and ladies as well. We've got probably 2 here at least. Tom, welcome, mate. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing a bit of a Peter Gregg today. We've got a couple of cameras set up, so I thought it might be a $4,000 webcam. Yeah, pretty much. All right. Racer Dave says, bad click. I'm not sure what that means. Anyway, discovered your channel. It's freaking awesome. Thanks, mate. Cheers. Thank you. All right. I'll tell you what. Let's check out some guitars here. One of them, they all came in a big box, and I think I posted a picture on the feed about the box. One was just slipped into the box, wrapped in like cardboard stuff, and it was fine. So the first one is actually already slightly unboxed over here. This is one that Rick had a chance to, like, Toman were nice enough to say, oh, are you guys keen on checking out anything? And we got to pick 2 each. And this is the first one that Rick chose. It's a right-handed guitar, so I won't be playing it. But you know what? It's actually, there's a guitar that I played many years ago from, it's not Collings, it's Heritage. This feels more like a Heritage guitar than a Gibson. It's got a really thin body, which is really cool. It's got EMG pickups as well, which is one of the reasons why Rick wanted to give this a go. And I mean, look, this wasn't even in a box within the big box, and it's a B-stock guitar as well. So we didn't go for like the highest end or everything just new. But yeah, this looks super cool. The model of this one, I think, is the SC552. I've got a link in the description down below. You can check them out. But yeah, SC550. And this looks pretty cool. So once Rick's able to sort of come by here and do some videos, it's also got the cutout here as well, which is something that I really like. I got a video coming up of one of the Gibsons with this. It's kind of nice. It gives you a little bit of extra reach. So, all right. So yeah, very nice. And I mean, look, if you're looking for a guitar that's, well, I mean, I haven't obviously plugged this in or played it, but I've had a lot of experience with Harley Bentons. And it was funny because up until actually seeing them in person, I thought it was all hype. And I've actually had one that was sent out that was not in good shape either, but this is flawless. I don't even know why it's a B stock. Maybe it was just a return, but it's even got the locking tuners as well, which is pretty awesome. So that's the first one here. The other ones I haven't actually seen yet. I've just cut the boxes open. So yeah, let us know what your thoughts are on those and whether or not you're into, I guess, Harley Bentons or, you know, get guitars at that sort of price. That cutaway contour would be great on a telly. Yep. Hey, Hank Johnson, welcome, man. Sorry if I didn't say hi before. I've been in so many guitar chats today. I have an addiction. They're good fun. I get into them as well. It's funny, since the time shift back, yeah, so like the US, I think, changed their time and went forward and we went back. Or the other way around. We went forward and they went back. It's been harder to catch live streams. They're like way too early or way too late now. But yeah, they're good fun. I always try and jump on them as well. Awesome, man. Shots with Shane in the blues on Friday night. Thanks, mate. Appreciate that. All right, so we got some other ones over here. Let's just open them up. Rick's been bugging me to sort of showcase or to show him what they're like. I'm like, you know what? I haven't even opened these up yet. So for good or for bad, this is going to be what happens here. All right. Let's try. Is this going to work better? All right. Let's try this. Just give me one sec. All right, that should be cool. That should be cool. Yeah, this has still got tape on the bottom. Oh, yeah, there we go. So this one, let's just double check the model number. Oh, all right. So this is one that I got to choose. I thought this would be a great choice for the channel, just based on, you know, what everybody likes and other guitars in the collection. It's just a point of difference, I guess. And it's, yeah, when I saw this, I was like, yeah, this looks good. All right. I'll try not to do this too slowly either. I'll just kind of rip it open. Now, I've had a lot of these, oh, not a lot, but I've probably had 5 of these guitars come through over the last sort of 3 or 4 years. And I've always ended up sort of moving them on after the fact, but there's one of these. Oh man, this is nice. Look at this. Hopefully that's working all right. This is the, oh geez, sorry. For some reason I can't get it to focus properly. Panasonic, there we go. All right, so this is the Pelham Blue double cut with a single P90 Roswell pickup, which I think looks pretty damn cool. And it's the SG kind of, you know, vibe, which is, everyone's like, how come you don't own an SG? Well, they're not really my sort of guitar, but I reckon I could get into this. The Tune-o-matic bridge thing here is all built into the back. One pickup, nice and simple. And I don't know if it's It actually feels slightly body heavy, which is interesting. Let's take a look. Let me just bring this up a little bit. Hopefully you can see okay. Let me, so this is a Harley Benton, and it's a lefty. It's almost in tune, almost. Yeah, cool, man. This might be my new slide guitar. Nah, this will rock. I have a look at the back of this thing, far out. Beautiful. It's got this really nice sort of sparkle to it. Might be a bit hard to see on the video. I'm not too sure, but yeah, made in Indonesia. Yeah, beautiful. I'm not going to go over all the specs right now. I didn't actually sort of get to that point with the research. It's called the DC60, DC60 Junior. And yeah, it's mahogany body, mahogany neck, amaranth fingerboard. It's a set neck, C-shaped neck, 22 medium jumbo frets. So they've pretty much gone for like the Gibson vibe. Yeah, it's kind of right out of tune actually, but yeah, pretty cool. Let us know what you think of that. I think this might be something I get to play quite a bit coming up. Something pretty cool about their pickups too. The P90s from the Harley Benton / Roswell pickups, actually pretty good. So there you go. That one I'm keen to turn up and rock out with. I think that'll be fun. Or blues rock out with, I should say. Can't rock. Too bluesy. All right, how much is Thomann charging for shipping to Oz? Good question. We ended up having to pay GST on them, which was like $375 all up. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure. Look, as right at the start of this stream, I mentioned that these have been sent out for review, so we didn't actually buy them or anything like that, but we did have to. Oh, Dr. Rick covered the costs on the GST. Mark Shields, yeah. I cannot think about Phil X seeing this. I can't not think about. Yeah, totally. He almost wants to make you play "Whole Lot of Love." That's his go-to song. It's pretty hot right there. Yeah, I reckon it's actually pretty nice. You know, like it looks really, really good. So there's two more. There's two more here. I'm going to move this camera back a bit. It's probably a bit easier where it was to start with. Just give me one sec. I don't know why I moved everything just before. Anyway. I'm just almost there. Sorry. All right, we're going to try autofocus. It's going to fail, but you never know. All right. Actually, before we open the next one, I'll just check the comments here. Matty K says, just a shout out to Rick. Hope you're jamming on it. Thanks, man. Yeah, we'll be getting together pretty soon. We've got to do a few more videos coming up, and obviously these ones as well. What model was the HB Les Paul? It was the SC550. I'll type it in. All right. I'm sure you'll enjoy these unboxing videos. All right, let me try the next one. Yeah, no, these aren't worth... oh, this one hasn't been opened at all. John's asking, why was the GST $375? Yeah, good question, man. We were wondering the same thing, but that's what they charged. That's what the import duties and fees and all that kind of crap were. So, yeah, I'm not really too sure, man. But that's what it was. All right, there you go. Let's It's been a while since I've had my hands on these guitars, and it'll be interesting to see whether or not anything's really changed since, you know, like the last time I've had a chance to see these. All right, this one's definitely Rick's. Just to give you... I closed the tab. I think it's called an Amarok. From memory, anyway. That's what I'm pretty sure this one's called. This definitely won't be for the serious blues guys out there, but this will be for the Robert Bakers of the world. I should try growing my mullet before I do this video. No, actually, I won't be able to. Oh, man, wow. Wow, all right, look at this. Whew. Now, this is Rick's wheelhouse. A guitar that looks about as late 80s as it gets. Man, this is beautiful. Look at the back of this thing. Kidding me? It's quite heavy, actually. It's kind of like... Oh, actually, you know what it is? This neck is super fat. Let's have a look at this. It's a beast of a neck. So yeah, this is the Amarok. I'm not exactly sure what the... Hey, I closed the tab, but maybe someone else can fill us in, but yeah, which way do the right-handed guitars go? This way, right? Yeah, so it's got EMG pickups as well. Looks like it's got 24 frets. It's got a reverse headstock for those who like to, you know, rock out with that. Oh yeah, so sorry, yeah, I should have probably said custom fees, not GST. GST was part of it, but then there's also a goods and services tax, which is 10%, and then there's this other fee for customs because they like to make money. But anyway, it is what it is. So that's, let's see if it does this. I got to cover my head. There we go. So yeah, that's the Rick's rock and roll machine right there. Actually, it's beautiful, far out. Like just in terms of if it's like its visual and build quality, it reminds me very heavily of like a higher end sort of Schecter, which is crazy because it's not a guitar that, yeah, I wouldn't pick that for myself, but it's super cool. Rick can play all of that kind of old school rock as well. He knows so many songs, so he might have to see what we can pull out of him for that. We'll go through all the 80s hits. As heavy as my Michael Kelly custom. Okay, cool. Yeah, Michael Kelly actually asked if I was interested in reviewing something of theirs a while back, and then and never heard back from him. They look like active EMGs. I'm pretty sure on the back there was a little thing, right? Yeah, there is. Yeah, there's a battery cover on the back of both. So yeah, they're active. Unleash the shred. Yeah, that's it, Sean. That's how it is here, man. It's crazy. We've got Real Jumper. It says, "G'day from NZ. I have a Harley Benton T40 Black Deluxe Series, which is a great guitar, but before the shipping... Oh, hang on. But I got it before the shipping rort of late. Shipping to NZ is crazy now." Yeah, it seems like it is here too. This is the first time that we were ever hit with like a import thing like that too. So it's like, what? You and I recall the 80s differently. It's probably more of maybe it's more of a 90s thing. I don't know. I was a kid in the 80s. Have an experiment video just playing blues on the Harley Benton. Oh, well, that'd be cool. I mean, you can play blues on anything. It doesn't even matter. I once took a Jackson Flying V and did a slow blues with it. It sounded great. It played pretty well too. I own a 53 T-style MK. T-style Oh, Michael Kelly. Okay, cool. Very cool. All right, we've got one left to go. I might as well do this, and then I'll pack up all the mess. It's getting pretty bad on the floor here. This is one that I've been a big fan of since I first saw it, and I think only in the last recent couple of years or less, they've started making these in lefty, or at least I've never noticed them in lefty before. So I was keen to try this. This was probably my favorite one when I got to see it in Germany in person when we did the right-handed video review. So I'm keen to see. Oh wow, it's heavy, far out. Oh, yeah, it's got a bit of chunk. It's got a bit of chunk. Oh, the neck looks awesome. All right, I'm just gonna rip this off. Whew, man, look at this. Now this is the Fusion. I think it's called the Fusion T. Fusion T HHLH roasted. I'll just type it in here or copy it in so you can check it out. I'll get back to the comments in a sec, guys. Sorry everybody. So this has a huge neck. It's a roasted maple neck, it looks like. It's got locking tuners. It's almost in tune. We get the push-pull pot on the tone control, so we can split coil the Roswells. Far out, man. This is definitely the nicest one I've seen, like as a lefty from Harley Benton. That blue one's nice, the Palin blue one, but this is on a whole other level. The neck looks beautiful as well. Let me get out of shot. Oh, I can't work this camera out yet. There we go. So yeah, big neck. Wow. You know, the sad reality of it is the neck on this feels very similar to the Kiesel. It feels great. It's actually slightly fatter too. I can see myself using this. This is great. I don't know. I know the top might not be for everybody either, color-wise. It is very sort of, it's a very light color compared to the back. But yeah, far out, man. I'm shocked. It's pretty nice. So yeah, it's also got the wheel thing to adjust the neck, which I kind of like. Obviously doesn't have anything up there. No, okay. So that's cool. Yeah, there are two passive humbucker pickups. It's basically in tune. That's amazing. Whew, hands are freezing, but yeah, there you go. So that's all of them. Stainless steel frets it is. All right, I'll get you the model number of this one as well. Oh, no, I typed it in already. It's the Fusion T. Oh, hang on, did I already type it in? Can't remember what I copied in. Anyway, there's that. I've just pasted it into the chat. So this has the body is from Sapele. Is that how you say that? Sapele? Flame maple veneer, roasted Canadian maple neck, roasted maple fretboard, modern C. I'm pretty sure these are stainless steel frets. Just let me find that. It doesn't say on this website I'm on, or maybe I just can't see it. I'm pretty sure they're stainless steel frets. Oh, maybe it says it in the description. But anyway, yeah, you can check it out. Just Google it or, yeah, whatever. Yeah, very cool. All right, let me go back to the chat here. Anyway, I don't often do unboxing videos anymore. I kind of just stopped doing them for like, I don't know, the last sort of 8 months or whatever. But I was interested just to see what kind of condition they turned up in, all that kind of thing, and what they looked like as well. And also want to kind of show Rick some of those, you know, they've been sitting in a box for a while now. Looking forward to the full video on that last one. Me too. I think that'll be the first one that I do. It looks really good. I don't love the top on the finish. Ugly to me. Well, that's the thing. It's all subjective stuff. Yeah, I like the blue one too. I got to say, the Palin blue looks very, very cool. Hazardous Slurpee says, "Hey Shane, I'm looking for an upgrade for a Squire. I'm thinking of an American Professional 2 Strat. Hope it's a guitar that will serve me a lifetime. Just wondering what's your opinion on it." I said this earlier. I think they're arguably some of the best production model guitars Fender have ever made. They're really good. They feel amazing. You pick them up off the shelf and they play great. The pickups are good. I would get the 2 over the original Professional series. It's not even close. I had them side by side here at the house, and the new ones wiped the floor feel-wise than over the older ones. So yeah, I would have no hesitations of recommending them. I've done reviews and also live play tests of them as well. So just search on the channel for American Pro 2 and it should come up. Burnt maple neck. The neck on that looks so good. Remember, Shane, those foam bags are not designed to go on your head. Oh, come on, man. It's faux long hair for me, right? Is the studio monitor mounted to the wall or is it on a stand? It's on a stand. You can see that. There you go. It's just hiding behind a white thing over here. If you want to check, I've got a few people asking about the price. I've got a link in the description. You can check it out. It goes over to the Thomann website, and then I think you can convert. It will convert it to your currency using that link. So, all right. So that's all of it. We're almost wrapping this up at the 1 hour mark. That was pretty much spot on. All right, I'm going to do a proper live Q&A, like a longer hangout coming up as well, but not today, but I just wanted to do a quick unboxing, get this stuff up and show you guys what it looks like. And obviously thank you to Thomann for shipping these out for the review, and thanks for Rick for covering the costs. Yeah, they look cool, and it's been ages since I've done any Harley Benton stuff, just because it was like, well, there's only a few that I really wanted to try. And that Fusion was top of the list. As soon as I knew that was in a lefty, I was like, man, I know John will like the look of that too, who's in the chat here. And lastly, sitting over there in the corner, I have the new American, what's it called? No, not the American, we're talking about the American Tellers. The Pro Reverb, the Fender Pro Reverbs are sitting over in a box over there. So that's just on loan from Fender, but they were nice. And I actually asked them if they could ship one out, and they said, yeah, no worries. So, yeah, I'm keen to check that out. I know Jamal's been asking for it for a long time. Dennis says he enjoys the unboxing videos as well. Super cool. Thanks, man. We got Lewis from Puerto Rico. Yeah, I sometimes think the unboxing videos can either be like a fun thing to watch, or I think sometimes it has the opposite effect on people as well. Like, it's not like, I just want to showcase how these show up and what they're like, rather than like boasting about what's come in. That's kind of why I don't ever want them to come off that way. Like, oh, look how lucky I am, I get to get all this stuff. It's like, no, I just want to kind of share this with people as well. So, yeah. All right, if anyone's got any last questions here, let us know. I'll keep an eye out on the chat here. We're already eager for you and Rick to jam again. Yeah, you know what? Next time we do it, we may actually take all of our own stuff. That's kind of that's the plan for the next one. I noticed there's another guitar shop in the UK who have pretty much taken Keys to the Guitar Shop and made it their new video as well. I thought that was kind of funny. Not taking it, but they're doing kind of the same thing. Yeah, those foam bags, man, they get stuck on the guitars and then they just rip apart. I don't like them either. Just going back up the chat here. Yeah, the stainless steel frets, man, I tell you, the best upgrade you can make if you plan on keeping a guitar long term. rather than just, you know, fenders were originally designed so you could just replace the neck, but the necks are so expensive that it doesn't make sense. You're better off getting stainless steel frets put in when the frets go, because then it'll last far longer than just buying another neck. At least that's my theory about it. Dr. Rick is the coolest. What a guy. Yeah, he's a dude. I'm thinking about buying one of those super reverb tone masters. That's from Sean. Yeah, pretty cool. I'm sort of on the fence about it as well. You know, I've already owned the Twin, and I was like, oh, do I want another big amp? So if you got space for it, they're pretty cool. I think Dave Simpson also just uploaded a video of him playtesting one. I haven't watched it, but I saw it come up in the feed right before I went live. So maybe check out his video as well. He just like sets them up in a room and jams, and he's a great player too. So have a look. I'm a huge, like, the Super Reverb is my favorite Fender amp of all time. Like, they sound great. I've got another Tone Master video coming up as well, which isn't the Super Reverb, but it's a different one again. So hang in there for that. That might be worth waiting for as well. It sounds pretty good. Great video. Thanks, Shane. First time watching in a live one. Thanks, AJS. I appreciate that. And thanks for becoming a channel member too, mate. In the blues, how's this live music scene going in Australia? It's pretty much dead. You know, when everybody was not too, even in every country, you know, like everyone had to, it's like, well, what's the backup plan to not doing gigs? You know, that was a huge thing for a lot of people. A lot of people started doing YouTube and started doing other stuff, but it would have been great had there been an option for, like, for the bands to still play somewhere and then have those sessions streamed. I would have loved to have seen venues done that in some capacity. That would have been super cool. But, you know, the infrastructure required sometimes, the cost and all that kind of thing, and knowing how to do it all is a whole other thing. Also, might not be cost effective at all, but I don't know. It's pretty much, at least where I live, there's nothing happening. It really sucks here at the moment. Oh, hey, cool. Is Tone King live, is he? Well, we might do that. We'll wrap this up. I just wanted to share what's come in and what you can expect coming up, as well as some other scheduled videos. So, yeah, stay tuned. I hope you're enjoying some of the mixer content. I'm trying to do like an amp, a guitar, and pedal video, one each, basically, in some sort of order like that. Not always in that order, but something like that at the moment. So, yeah, we'll go to the Tone King Lounge after this. That sounds pretty great. All right, guys. Oh, hang on. I'll just take this. Was it Hoodoo Gurus who did a live stream interactive gig online a few years back? You know, I don't know, but that would be really cool. I know Tommy Castro's been doing a lot of that. If you don't know Tommy Castro from the US, he's a great singer and songwriter. He's been getting into the whole live session. It's a crime his channel's got like 2,000 subscribers. So if you liked Chris Kane, go check out Tommy Castro. I can highly recommend him. He's one of my favorites. He's on the wall over here, right here. This guy, unbelievable. Have I ever used the Roland JC 120 Jazz Chorus? Yes, it's loud and it's really, really heavy. I wouldn't buy one for myself, but they do sound good. All right, take care, folks. Thank you so much for hanging out, and I'll try and timestamp some of this just to the main points of the video, so if you want to watch it back, you can do that. All right, rock on. Thanks again. Catch you soon. See ya.